Coming to you live, it's the AutoHub show with Ian and Jeff. Here we go.
So what would your dealership feel like if your entire sales staff was literally on fire, your sales and service staff? They were nonstop all over social media, completely dominating your marketplace. They could do it in 30 days or less and then continue their education to do it for an entire 6 months or a year. You literally would completely take over the entire marketplace and no one would be able to compete with you. And that's what we can do for you. So when you're walking around your community, whether you're at local restaurants or you're going to the gym, if you don't want to be bothered, fine, you won't be bothered. But a lot of people will walk up to you and say, oh my God, I love your social media. Your staff is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We want to come buy a car from you. We want to get an oil change at your dealership. Your community is absolutely going to love you. And it doesn't matter what platform you're on. You could be on TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms. You will literally be all over the place. I've traveled all over North America. I've trained Toyota. I've trained Nissan. I've been to driving sales. I've been to Women in Auto. I get hired as a speaker for conferences at universities all over the country. And I can help change the trajectory of your dealership right now. If you click on the link, you can sign up for our webinar. It's live with me, and you'll learn the 7 strategies that you need at your dealership in order to see that success.
Hi, everyone. This is Paul Brobson, the CEO over at Trusted Sale. And if you don't know Larry Feldman at Career Changers, boy, are you missing out. Now, what are you missing, you might ask? Well, for starters, you're missing the world's best trainer. But seriously, what makes Larry a great trainer is how engaged he keeps his audience. I was at a store recently while Larry was conducting training. And let me tell you, nobody wanted to leave that room. I mean, even when they needed a bio break, they wanted to stick around and hear what Larry had to say. The great late Jim Valvano, who said, to me, there are 3 things everyone should try to do every day. Number 1 is laugh. Number 2 is think. Spend some time in thought every day. And number 3, you should have your emotions move you to tears. If you laugh, think, and cry, that's a heck of a day. Well, I can tell you, Larry's going to make you laugh. He's going to make you think. And yeah, every once in a while, he's going to make you shed a tear or two. But one thing I can say, it's a heck of a day when Larry comes to visit. But wait, there's more. There is? Yeah. Not only is Larry a great trainer, but he's also one hell of a recruiter. So if you need people in your dealership, I mean anyone, you need technicians, salespeople, managers, BDC agents, whatever you need, Larry can get you staffed right with the right people and do it fast.
Ways to improve. Every month we want to improve better on what we did the month before, maybe the year before. It's about how fast we can get the cars done with quality work to get it to the front line, because that's where we make our money. And the bottom line is the longer it takes, the more money you spend. We want to get it down as low as possible. Right now, like I said, we're in a great stage. We're at 4.5 days. In recon, we want to know how quickly we can get the cars out of the recon process and to their front line. The average days in recon, and then the time to line are the most important thing to get it. I'm Mike Burrell. I'm Service Director at JM Lexus.
This is Ian.
And this is Jeff. And we're here at Used Car Week 2023 again. We came across these fine people who walked around the corner from S&A Communications. Now, I asked the question, where's S&A? But I think S&A are retired. So, and with us, we have this fine gentleman. If you could introduce yourself, tell us a bit about your company.
Sure. My name is Chuck Norman. I am one of the owners of S&A Communications, which is a division of S&A Cherokee. Our other division is Cherokee Media Group, which you also know well, that puts on this show for the last 24 years.
Wow, 24 years.
So where's the S and the A? I want to know who is S and who is A.
So back in 1982, Ron Smith founded it was called Smith and Associates Public Relations. Okay. So it was Ron and a couple of helpers.
Okay.
And he operated that business for a number of years, and probably in 1990 launched auto remarketing. We used to have a client in the used car space, NIADA, which I'm sure you've heard of. And for a number of years, we handled their publication. They said, hey, we need to make this into a non-dues revenue stream. So can you take our newsletter and grow it into a publication that can bring us some additional dollars? We did that for about 5 years, and they said, you're doing such a great job, we're going to take it in-house, you're fired. So Ron had the idea. I've learned the publishing business. I know the automotive space now. I'm going to launch my own publication. And that's how AR was born.
Cool. Well, it's very funny because I first met Cherokee Media, etc., when in Auto Remarketing Canada in 2011, I think, Toyota had a thing, and I'd done such a great job on their certified used. I came out, met Bill there, went to a few more Auto Remarketing Canadas, and so we've been to a few of these events, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm a traditional PR marketing guy, and coming into this business, not knowing anything about the remarketing world or the used car industry very deeply, learned a lot very quickly, but it probably took me 5 or 6 years to really get my arms around it because there's so many moving parts in this industry, and as you see, so many different people within the verticals, not just dealers, but logistics and finance and everything in between. And so we had very little separation of power for about the first 8 or 9 years I was there. But we rebranded the company from our 2 different entities back in 2013 so Bill and I could start tackling this from 2 different directions. We're like, it's silly to have all this credibility in the automotive industry and then not be able to use that knowledge to help people from a PR and marketing perspective. Yeah. But Ron was concerned about cannibalizing advertising dollars back in the day, and would people see our editorial as legitimate? We never done pay for play, and everybody still has to pitch our publications like any other legitimate property out there. But now that we have these 2 divisions, we feel like we can do that from a management standpoint as well.
Sure. How's the challenge of going from a paper publication to digital? Because, I know I've subscribed for a long time, and I hate to say it being an old guy. I love getting that thing and it shows up and you flip through the pages, but it usually ends up sitting in the plastic. Same thing with the other guys, automotive, whatchamacallits, because the digital's so much easier.
Yeah.
What difference is it doing that, or is it the same?
It's really a matter of preference. We have a number of publications, not just in automotive, but in other areas as well. There was a period of time where the margins were so slim, we were buying paper by the train car just to make, the budget meet where we needed it to. But we tried very hard to move a number of those publications to 100% digital, and we got a lot of pushback from just what you said. A lot of people that are over 40 still love tangible, love to pass it along to the people in their offices. I don't think it's ever going to go away completely, but you're right, where people's, based on other things that they do in life, they're having phones and tablets and other things in their hand much more often. And so we are seeing a much higher shift to it, but not completely going away.
Well, I have to say personally, there's nothing like having coffee in the morning and flipping through not at home, outside at home, it's a different story. That's the TV.
Yeah.
But, when you're flipping through a newspaper or something, it's great. And of course, in a doctor's office, could there be anything better than a 17-year-old magazine?
Yeah. I thought Betty White just died last week because I just saw one in the lobby out there. It was 2 or 3 years ago now.
but the online world's the same thing. I just saw a post that it says, it came up like Used Car Week, or I Googled Used Car Week, and it was like, Used Car Week 2016. Wow, was Bill looking a lot young? No, just kidding. But yeah, it's a very interesting thing. What, obviously you're here because you're part of the, the umbrella Cherokee and everything else. Is there a separate goal for S&A than from Auto Remarketing or Cherokee or the conference that you have?
Absolutely. And while we're one company, our 45 employees are all employees of S&A Cherokee, the mothership. We really do have 2 separate divisions, and there is no overlap when it comes to service areas. While our creative and digital team may help out with creative for the publications and things like that, I'm chasing business, PR, marketing, digital, social, you name it, anything to tell a story on any platform for people and organizations that we feel like we can help expand their stories beyond the key stakeholders that they currently have. And so it's really a great marrying, like I said, of 2 different business entities, because we have professional writers and editors and salespeople, but we also have digital and social experts and everything else. So we're able to take all the knowledge that we've gained and share it with people in this room. I mean, because again, as big as the car industry is, this particular niche is a very small space, and everyone knows each other. And they're looking for new ways to be able to share their brand, potentially in other markets that aren't the traditional markets they sell to. For instance, we have a sponsor here right now that we're partnering up with called Truly.
Yeah.
It's audio, right? We've never had an audio company here before, but man, they've really made an impact. And it's been a lot of fun to see how, again, we can take the fun, cool things and bring it to an industry that's not always that fun. So that's what I love and I'm excited about. The other thing that I do is crisis and reputation management. Good companies and good people always step in it. And so I'm there to help them through those difficult times to hopefully preserve brand reputation or get them through it as quickly as possible.
I've heard there's some guy lives in Florida that might be in the need of crisis and reputation. I don't know what his name, Ronald, no. We're not getting political. No.
Yeah, we're not going to go down that path, but I think I'm aware of that gentleman as well.
Yes, that's right.
In terms of clients, I mean, obviously you're getting on board with different clients of different size companies, used cars, different areas. What's your sort of sweet spot in terms of clients that you take on and why?
So automotive, because what we've talked about, but we also do healthcare, technology, some professional service, could be engineers, could be architects, construction companies, and things like that. But I'm most excited. So I went to school for electrical engineering. So one of my current clients is in the robotics space, and that's a lot of fun and very cool for me because I can use some of that old analytical knowledge from a PR and marketing perspective to help this client move its brand forward. We were a general service agency for years, and we've been trying to hone it down to 5 or 6 that really makes sense because we do have as much or more knowledge than the clients we're trying to work for.
Thanks for that.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you taking the time. It's been another Ambush interview at Used Car Week, and thank you for being ambushed.
Yeah, pleasure.
Oh, what?
Thanks for joining us. It was a great show, and follow us anywhere you would like on your favorite podcast, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and of course on our YouTube, or subscribe to our own channel.